those gators you say come up and not on
I've
cement?
never seen them up here, no. Never seen the gators come up here. I don't know
No,
why
they
that
know
is.
They know their territory,
I think they're pretty happy right over there where they are.
as long as you don't bother.
That's it. You don't want to bother them, that's for sure. First of all, my name is George, and my wife Susie's going to be helping me today. If you need anything while we're going around, please just ask. And that's the only rule we have here today, is to come out here and have a good time with us. Okay, ask questions, enjoy yourself. We're going to try to keep you comfortable and have fun while we're going along. I'm not here to teach any kind of college course on the environment or anything like that. We're just going to have some fun while we're out here today. Okay, Herb?
Fine.
Bob, how about you? You okay with that? We'll have some fun?
Yeah.
Good, good. All right. Now here's what we're going to do. We're right here where this little star is. We're going to walk up this green line. At the end of the green line, right where those people are, way out there, there's a porta potty out there. We're going to stop for anybody who needs to use the toilet, okay? And then after we're done there, we're going to come out on this boardwalk. While we're out on the boardwalk, we're going to take a look around, and we're going to see whatever is blooming today, whatever is visiting us today. There's birds all over the place today, and we're going to stop and we're going to try to make some sense of why they're here or what they're doing. This program is put together by a group called CREW, the Corkscrew Regional Ecosystem Watershed, which is part of the South Florida Water Management District. That's important because the land you're standing on is where all the water comes for your faucets in Naples or Estero or Bonita Springs. So if you live in any of those three areas, do you live in Naples?
Yes.
Do you live in Naples, Bob?
Bonita.
Bonita, okay. So when you turn your water on both in Bonita and in Naples, the water is coming right out of here. That's where
So
the
how's it filtered?
It filters right down through the ground,
Yeah.
and then it goes to your water treatment plant, and then it gets pumped into your faucets, okay? But the important part is, if this swamp goes dry, your faucet goes dry. So this is a very, very important piece of property. The property right here is where the red line is. It's about 7,000 acres, and that's attached to another 53,000 acres up this way. And that's all part of what's known as CREW, the Corkscrew Regional Eco Water System Watershed, okay? And this is an aquifer, or a big sponge, if you will, that collects water from the rain, holds it until you need it to turn on your faucet, and then it comes out your faucet. We don't get any water in here or in your faucets from places like rivers or lakes. This is not part of the Everglades. This is not part of Lake Trafford or Lake Okeechobee. All of the water that comes out of your faucets comes from here, and all of the water that comes from here comes from the clouds or rain. So it's a very important ecosystem here we have going on. Whatever comes into the ground is all we have available to come out of those faucets, and that's why we protect it. And that's why we have little trips out here to teach people about it, so they'll help protect it. He's a baby. You want a picture of a water moccasin?
I'm scared. Aren't they more venomous as babies?
Well, that doesn't matter. We're not going to let him bite you, so it doesn't matter how much poison he's in him, because we're going to let him go home with it. This is a baby water moccasin, and that's why you see he's got black marks and brown marks. Janet, you want to come in?
Yeah.
Anybody wants a picture, come right in, because he's not going to bother you.
And I'm not going to.
Okay,
now
he's
he's
started.
reacting.
Now he started to pick up on, we're here, and he's backed off. You notice his tongue came out. He was testing the air a little bit. We're going to put him right back in the water where he belongs. He likes the water. There he goes. He's in the water. See him down here? See him? There he goes.
See everything.
All right, enough.
He's in the water. He's everybody's safe,
Don't
okay?
do that just because he did that.
Okay? Everybody's safe now. He's in the water, all right? Okay. Very good. Now we're going to continue on. The water right here is running right through. That's the water actually running off. That's water we're starting to lose already. It's running away. It's not soaking into the ground. So we're tilted a little bit here. We're at the south end. And in this part of Florida, every mile or so equals about an inch. In other words, the further you travel south, every mile you go south, you drop in elevation by about 1 inch. So we're pretty flat. I mean, that's pretty flat, 1 inch on a mile. But that's the situation. Now that's a red-shouldered hawk passing over right there. You might hear him in a little bit. He might squawk at us. What is he looking for? He's looking, well, right now, he's got a nest in here, Herb. He's got a nest in here, and what he's trying to do is trying to make sure we don't get too close to it. So he's pulled into a position where he can guard the nest.
And he'll come down at you.
No, he'll just sit there and squawk at you, yell at you to leave, leave my area if we get close enough. He may talk to us, he may not. Now all of those guys flying around up there, those are all buzzards. You know what that means?
Something's dead.
That means we're moving too slow. We got to move
There
a little
was like a
faster.
dozen of them sitting on the fence post back
They're there
Doesn't-
all the
Are
time.
they?
Yeah.
Some beautiful plants in bloom right here. This is called swamp potato. And then back there, the purple, that's pickerel weed. You can't smell them yet. We get up a little further, we might be able to pick up some flowers that we can smell. But right now you can take a look at those, aren't they? They're beautiful. They're here most of the year, in bloom most of the year. I gotta keep watching behind me.
She's okay, I'll watch.
Okay, let's go take a look. Oh, we got a nice butterfly. Look at right here.
Yep.
Look at that.
What does he do?
Well, right now he's drinking the nectar out of those little pink flowers that are on the ground.
Oh, yeah?
That's a peacock butterfly.
Rare or not so rare?
Oh, very common right here. Very pretty though. A good point. All these trees you've been passing that look kind of red and orange, and Susie's pointing to the one that is in back of this front stand right here, the one that's dark green, red, and orange up there. That's a good point. We don't think of Florida as having leaves that turn colors, but that's one of our trees that does. That is swamp maple. And later on, when spring comes, the red will go away, the orange will go away, and it'll go back to being green. So just like up north, we've got leaves that turn colors also.
Do they shed?
No, it doesn't really shed a whole heck of a lot. I mean, it will drop its leaves eventually, but it's not part of that whole changing color process. Right now, what you're seeing shed most of all is the cypress in here. A lot of people think that the cypress is an evergreen, but it drops its needles, and you can see most of them are bare. Some of them are starting to come back with the yellow. That's the new needles coming out. So cypress is a
So these will all fill back out?
yeah, they're not dead at all. They're in their winter coat, so to speak. Yeah, Janet?
They do turn a pretty color.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a rusty orange. And fall is subtle here. You kind of have to pay attention
Now
to
you
it.
gotta.
It's quite pretty.
I'm glad you pointed it out because that is absolutely true. You see some back here, they're starting to get that orangey and yellowish color to them.
These are not sick pine trees.
No, they're not sick pine
Some
trees.
people
no.
think
Good
they
to
are.
know.
When I first came here, I thought they were all dead.
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
No, they're not dead. They're just taking a winter rest. Same thing with this tree we're coming up right now. This is not dead. This is a deciduous tree. In other words, it loses its leaves in the winter time. And it knows it's winter time, even though it's in Florida, and so it's lost its leaves. You see them all over the ground. You'll never see this tree living by itself. It always lives in a little community. This is called pop ash. Pop ash. Now, when you were a child, depending on where you grew up, you probably had a plant that had seeds. These are the seeds. These are not the leaves. You can have that here.
And you put them on your nose?
yeah, remember putting it on your nose?
Bob,
They
you
are
wanna-
gonna split
You
it.
want to feel that? You feel that?
They're the whirly
Where's
birds.
the seed?
Yeah. Now watch what happens.
Yeah, the
Do
whirly
you remember
birds.
them? The helicopters, whirlybirds.
We
Yeah.
have the seeds in this.
The seeds are the little bump on the end.
On
right
this
in there.
tree.
Over
See a
here.
little swollen part? That's the seed. Ah, the hawk's nest. Somebody asked me earlier. Straight on through. You can just see it very near the top of the trees. Follow my stick.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, a lot like a squirrel's nest if you come from up north. That's what the up north a squirrel's nest would look like.